This is one of the simplest yet most impactful automations that I've ever built for my clients. I've sold and implemented this system for law firms, real estate agencies, and various other companies for an average of $4,000. Basically, any professional service company literally needs this, and they likely don't have anything automated like this at all. Now, typically I just work with companies like this on a retainer basis and just automate anything and everything. But this is one of the ways that you can go into these businesses and provide a ton of value and save them a bunch of time right away. If you can get your foot in the door with a project like this, they'll likely want to hire you for more projects to systemize their entire technical operations. If you're new here, this is what I've been doing for 2 years, and it's what over 100 students are doing inside of my community, digital operations. And look, this may not be the sexiest AI system I've ever built, but it's pretty damn valuable for these businesses. And at the end of the day, however you can provide the most value is how you're going to get them coming back month after month. And as far as AI goes, I have actually had ChatGPT write some sections of real legal documents for an old law firm client of mine, so adding AI into this workflow isn't out of the question. But anyways, let me show you this system in action. It just takes a templated document like this with all these fields like client name, client address, retirement plan, and it allows you to fill out an Airtable interface, which will then populate this document in seconds. So as you can see, we already have Elon in here, but what we can actually do is if we add in a new client, we'll just say Jeff Bezos, put in some fake data here. We can create this and then press this button right here to generate that document. And then this document's going to be generated for us in seconds. Boom. So there it is. We can click right on this and then all those fields were automatically filled out. We have his email, name, address, and then even that retirement plan name right within the actual text of the document. Now, this might seem basic here, but these companies have some poor soul who has to go fill in all this stuff manually. I've seen this firsthand. I've worked with large law firms to implement this, manufacturing companies. I even worked with one of the largest real estate agencies in New York City to implement this, amongst other things, and they were completely amazed. So hopefully this gives you an idea of just how big this opportunity is. There's millions of other real estate agencies. There's millions of other law firms. The list goes on and on. Now, this isn't the only service that you can offer to these types of businesses. You can also automate generating contracts to send to clients, which is similar to this with tools like PandaDoc. You can build them much more robust Airtable bases to manage all of their data. You can help them with managing their employees and sending out notifications for every little thing in their business. The possibilities are endless and depend on each business and their processes. But the point is, if you're serious about making money with a digital operations agency, then follow along and let's build this system from scratch. So at the base of everything, we need a template like this. I'll go ahead and put this in the description for you guys, but basically this is a real trimmed down version of a legal document I have here. And these are the only fields that I have for now. But when you actually do this with a client, you're going to have a lot more fields. Retirement plan name is just the one that I decided to throw in because it's very easy and basic for everybody to understand. So go ahead, pull this up, make sure you have this ready. You can feel free to modify this for your needs. And next you can just pull up a blank Airtable base like this. We can call this document generator. We'll press OK, and then this can just be called the documents table. Now for fields, we're just going to use exactly what was in our document there. So we'll have client name, client email, client address, which we'll do a long text. We'll change the status here to retirement plan, and then we'll just list out some plans. We'll just do 403B, 457B, and 401k. Pretty typical. We'll save. And the last field we'll need is that link to our document. So go ahead and add this as a URL field. Perfect. And now let's just add in some fake data here. We can delete these two records. We'll add in our boy, Elon Musk. No way this is actually Elon's email, right? And his retirement plan is going to be 401k. Cool. So now we have some fake data in here to work with. And now we're going to go up here into interfaces. And this is where we can make things look good. We'll go ahead and start building. Build an interface. And we'll just call this the document generator interface. Click on the couple pieces of paper for the icon, make it look legit. And then there's all these different layouts that you can choose from. I really like the record review, use it all the time. So go ahead and select that. We will just press next here, add in all of our links, call this generator, we'll finish. Cool, and now we are in the interface builder. So a few things that we have to do here to clean this up. Instead of making this guy extra large, we'll just make him large. And then as we can see here, the source is from client name. So we don't need this client name in here twice. We can delete this one. And then we want to make these editable. Right now, they're just view only, but we want to be able to edit this. Go ahead and add all these. However, there's no reason really to edit the document link, and we just want to be able to easily click on that. It's a little bit messy when it is editable, so we're going to leave that as view only. So now the next thing that we need to do, the only thing that's missing from my interface there is the button. So make sure you're selected in this area. Go ahead and add a button action, and then go right here to the button properties. We do not want to go to an external URL. There's a bunch of things you can do when you click a button on Airtable, but what we want to do is run an automation. So go ahead, click that, and then go down here and we'll create a new automation. We'll again call this document generator like everything else, and we'll continue in automations. So when that button is clicked, we can add in an action here. And for our action, we're going to be running a script. So running scripts allows you to run JavaScript within Airtable, and it's extremely powerful. You can literally do anything. However, this does require a paid Airtable plan. You can get this with the starter plan. I believe it's $24 per month. But if you stick around to the end of this video, I'm going to show you how to do this exact same thing for free. It's just a bit less polished because you don't have that interface feel, but you can add a button into the data section of Airtable, which is just that section that kind of looks like a spreadsheet. So here's the script that you guys need. I'm just going to paste it right in. And basically all this is going to do is send our record ID to a webhook and make. So here's the full script. Go ahead, copy that in. And then for an input variable, we just have to do record underscore ID. And we're going to add in that record ID from where we push the button. So insert value from field, Airtable record ID right there. And we can verify what to name this input variable from right here. It says record underscore ID. Cool. So now this is not going to work because this webhook isn't set up. So let's go set up this webhook in make.com. So go ahead, pull up make. We're going to do a new scenario here, and we're just going to do webhooks, custom webhook, add a hook. We'll call this the document generator. We'll save. And then all we got to do is copy this address to clipboard and go throw it in that script. So go ahead, delete this webhook and paste in the one you just made. And now you should be good to go. So we can test it right here, run tests. We'll use the Elon record that we created, and the record ID was sent successfully. If we check make, we'll see this little successfully determined. So we're good to go. We'll press OK. And now the next step of this automation is getting that record and getting the details from our Airtable base. So go ahead, add another module, and we're going to do Airtable get a record. Select the base that we just made, so only the documents table. And then for the record ID, you should be able to just map this in from the webhook. We'll press OK. And now we'll run a test so that we can see what this data is coming in like. So to test, just run once, back over to Airtable, finish editing there, and then we will test the automation. Again, just select the Elon record, run the automation, and then over in make. Now we got the record and we got all the details there from Airtable. Next, we're going to go over to that document template to grab the document ID for our automation here. So in your legal document template, just go up to the URL. And then in the URL after the /D, we're going to grab this right here, which is our unique document ID. We're going to copy this. Now back into make, we're going to add a Google Doc module, and we're going to create a document from template. So this will create a brand new document using our template. Make sure you connect the Google account that you just made this Google Doc with. And then instead of by dropdown, we're going to do by mapping. And we're going to paste in that document ID that we just copied. So it should look something like this. And then for the values, we're just going to add an item. And the tags here are just those parameters that are already in our document. So if we go into our document here, make already takes care of the brackets. So just copy this right here, paste it in right here. And then the replaced value is going to be the client email. Perfect. So it should look just like this. And then we're just going to add the rest of our item. So for client name, map the client name, add another item, client address, and then lastly, the retirement plan. Perfect. So just make sure that your values look like this. And the last thing we need to do is add a title here. And we'll make this dynamic as well. I'll just say retainer agreement for Elon Musk. Now you can choose wherever you want this folder to go. I'm just going to do my general drive. And to do that, it's just a slash here, but you can put this into a specific folder if you want to. We'll press OK. And then the last thing to do is just update our record in Airtable. So go into Airtable, update a record, select your documents table again. And then the record ID that we're updating comes from right here. We can just map this in just like that. We could also map it in from the webhook. And now the only thing that we're updating here is the document link, which is going to be the web view link from our Google Docs. So make sure it all looks like this. We'll press OK. We'll auto align. We'll save. And now we can turn this on and give it a name. Perfect. So now let's go do a full test. So back in Airtable, we'll turn this automation on. We'll head back to interfaces and let's just clean up this button here. Let's make it a blue button. And we don't want to say trigger an automation. We want to say generate document. Perfect. And now the last thing to do is go over here. We're going to allow our users to add records through a form. Now we will publish and let's add in our Jeff Bezos record. So just go ahead and make sure you fill it in like this. We'll create and then we will generate the document. Perfect. And now in seconds, we have the link to our document. We click on it and everything's filled in exactly how we want it to. So everything's set up properly and we're good to go. So as I told you guys, I'm going to show you the free version of doing this as well. You don't have to run a script to trigger off an automation and make. So go back here, we'll edit, go to data, and then we're going to add a button field right here. Call this generate. It is a button. And then here's our URL formula. I'm just going to replace everything before the question mark here with the webhook that I just made. So to grab that, I'll just go back here and copy this, paste that in. And this is all it is. It's just the URL to the webhook, appending the record ID, and we'll create field. We'll edit this to make it look a little bit nicer as well. We'll do the solid blue. And now we can do the same exact thing. If we wanted to click this button, we'll be taken to this page that says accepted, and then it's also going to trigger off our automation to make. Here's our document, and it's all filled in and ready to go. So as you can see, this is where I don't do the free version with clients, because that interface is where they spend all of their time, and it's a lot easier for them to just go log into that. And the last thing I want to point out is if you guys have formatting requirements, like let's say this stuff should be italics or bold, if you just make this parameter right here the style that you want, then when the automation runs, it's going to come in looking like this as well. So that address would be bold and italics in this case. So there you have it, guys. Congrats. You're one step closer to making money with your own agency or using this in your own business in whatever way makes sense for you. As I mentioned, if you want to learn how I make money selling services like this, then join my school community. You get access to all my project examples like this, courses, weekly calls, and a community of smart people all on a mission to make money doing stuff like this. So I hope to see you guys in there. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.